am Melody Fawcett, and today's date is February 24th, and I'm at Mount St. Vincent in Seattle, and I'm 59. My relationship to my recording partner is that we are colleagues. We just met today.
Hi, my name is Laurie Corrington. I am at Providence Mount St. Vincent's. My age is 67. As Melody says, we just met today, but we are colleagues.
How did you first hear about the Mount?
I first came to work here in 1977 as a new nursing graduate. Fell in love immediately. I stayed there for about 3 years before I quit to raise my family. Then I was lassoed back to work here in about 1993 to help with a short-term project. I actually lived in Linwood, so it was about a 40-minute drive at that time. And so I started for a temporary job and have been here almost 30 years.
I love your short-term project.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell me a little bit about what brought you to nursing?
I'm one of 12 children. My brothers and sisters and I, we grew up fairly poor. My parents never said you will be going to college, but somehow we just knew we would go to college. It was never discussed. It was just a known fact. My oldest brother was a doctor. My oldest sister was a nurse. But when I got to Seattle University, I didn't know what I wanted to do. My roommate in the dorm was in the nursing program. And so it was like, well, I could be a nurse. I have no idea what a nurse does, but I could be a nurse. On the day of registration, I went to the nursing program, happened to meet with the dean. At that time, it was easy to get in. Not easy, but she looked at my high school transcripts and talked to me, and I was in the nursing program and I graduated. I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do, but I just loved the environment at Mount St. Vincent's. I have always been closely involved with the transitional care unit, also known as the Medicare unit. It's had many names, short stay unit. That was where my heart was and my interest and where I felt I could provide the best service. You have new patients all the time, so it's very challenging, but also very exciting to meet new families, new patients. We would get patients from the hospital and they've had a traumatic change in their life and they've spent time at the hospital, and then they would sometimes without even much advance notice, they've been told, we've worked it out, you're going to go to Mount St. Vincent's. Unfortunately, nursing home has a terrible stigma in this country. It always has. So we would have patients come to our facility and immediately they're concerned about their care. And I remember one case in particular. It was a young woman and her partner, and I was in my office and I got a call from the nurse on the floor saying that they were extreme. This was the night she admitted, the evening she admitted. They were very unhappy. She wanted to go back to the hospital and she'd called her doctor. So I immediately went to the room and introduced myself. And I kind of start with, all I'm asking of you is to give us time to earn your trust. I talked to the nurse, so I knew what their concerns were. Part of it was she was in a double room and she was a younger woman. We try to put in private rooms when we can. Unfortunately, we only have a small number of private rooms, but I assured her a private room was opening up the next day and it would be offered to her. I just sat and talked to her for quite a while before she left. Within a day or so, she was a different person. And she actually, many years later, came in with her mom. Her mom was a patient at the Mount. I always felt like I had a knack for smoothing things out.
I'd love to hear how the Mount has changed over the years.
It's changed dramatically in the respect that, yes, when I was working in 1977, and even when I came back many years later, things were smaller. We made decisions. We didn't have the regional team. We were able to manage ourselves. That's the part that's been the hardest for me. But as far as the sense of community and our culture, we're still a small little Mount St. Vincent's under that big Providence umbrella, but we are also just a small family.